Hello, friends and lovers. Welcome back to Hades 2. I know it's been a quick minute. I took a little break from Hades 2, tried out a bunch of other games while we wait for the next update. So let's talk about it for a quick minute here. This is the roadmap. It is available on the main screen for Hades 2 when you open it up. You can also find it on their blog and Discord and a few other places. But just wanted to quickly gloss over it and go over some of the details in case you missed it or need some reminders, because I've had a lot of people asking me, when's the next update? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. So let's take a little step back here, and we'll look at the game launch in May of 2024 in early access. We got our first update 5 months later in October, and it has now been 3 months since that time. Now, it does say here right on the roadmap that their second major update will be early in, it says next year, but it means 2025 now. Our first major update took some months following our initial launch and patching period. While we expect this next one to require less time overall, the scope of work is going to take us into 2025. It then talks about kind of early access in general, but what can you expect from the next update in case you haven't checked it out? The climactic confrontation, what awaits on the summit of Mount Olympus. Once we add this, we'll consider the main structure of the surface route to be complete. New boons and some new foes as well, and God knows what else. They don't mention things like the hidden aspects or the fourth aspects for each weapon, but I'd be surprised if we don't get at least one with the next update so that we can start play testing it. There's some more general information here, and they do talk about 1.0, but they do not give a date for 1.0. I don't really have any theories for it either, but we'll talk a little bit about it. But if you just want to know what's going on, I suspect that the update will be coming in the next 30, maybe 60 days from the date of this video. You know, it could be any day now, quite literally, but I would suspect maybe sometime in February this could happen. If that's all you want to know, then you can go ahead and leave the video. But if you want to join me, we'll kind of rant and rave, and we'll do a quick run through the surface. We'll just kind of discuss what's going on. Now, I am definitely a bit rusty, so forgive me. I mean, just not playing this game for like 4 or 5 weeks is kind of enough to be like, oh yeah, what's this do? How do you do this? And things like that. So we're going to do a quick, fun run. Pan daggers, Poseidon special, sort of my average speed run build. I guess I'm going to turn down time since I'm going surface, and I'm probably not going to be try-harding that much. But we can talk a little bit more about some different things. You know, I assume that you're here mostly because you're curious what's going on, when's the next update, what will the next update contain, and things of that nature. Looking back at Hades 1, I was in early access for Hades 1 when it was there, and there was much less time actually overall between the updates, but the one update we've had in Hades 2 has been quite large overall. So I guess it was definitely, it's different. It's a bit hard to compare, I guess you could say. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like secretly working on some big stuff for Hades 2. I guess I don't want to like subtly promise that we're going to get something else than what we already have, you know, some big systems or anything like that. Rapture ring? I guess we shall take it. But I wouldn't be surprised. So back in Hades 1's day, we actually got a major update every 30 days for a while. Need more Poseidon. We need that hammer ASAP. Okay. We're also going to need someone for magic regen. That's not Hestia. Does not work with Pan. Looks like we got Heracles here. But yeah, we used to get them every 30 days at the start of Hades 1. Then they went up to every 60 days, and then for the last couple updates, I don't even know what the time frame was, but they didn't promise anything in particular, which was probably the right way to do it. It seemed like they did really push themselves for it. And yeah, more boons is interesting for what we can expect. I don't really know what they mean. They don't say a new god, to be specific, right? So there's no mention of a new god, just simply more boons. So it's like, maybe it'll be something that advances upon the... Ooh, we got spiral knives. Yo, let's go. Something that advances upon the infusion system? Total shots in the dark here. You know what I mean? But just a possibility, I guess. It's just interesting the way they worded it. They also worded the final, I guess we could say zone here as the final confrontations. Like, final confrontation. What does that mean exactly? What does that mean exactly? I don't know. We do need magic regen for this. This is just aspect of Pan. Spiral knives is the best in slot. So I don't have any big theories as to when it's coming, that's for sure. But, you know, we're 3 months in, and they said it should take less time than the previous one. So we're probably getting there. Nice, we'll take Slippery Slope, and then that's our... Hey, I was trying to get in the door there. That's our Origination Activator. Got some wind, okay. They probably had to push themselves a lot for Hades 1 to make sure, you know, it was the game that it needed to be to, you know, to put it... I don't know if this would be pessimistic, to keep the studio open, perhaps, for all we know. Not really sure, you know? Poseidon Magic Regen. I'm probably gonna have to take that Max Magic. I was thinking of taking Afro, too. We might have to settle for Poseidon here. We could try to hold out and just wear Hera's keepsake, you know? That damn shield on this guy. I totally took the wrong, I took Rocky. I probably should have done, for more of a fun run style, I probably should have just done, Hecuba. Alright. Fluid gain, it's fine. It's just not ideal, you know? I'm definitely used to the speedrun meta where you kind of got to get the best of everything, and the best of everything is Born Gain, essentially. That's the thing with the magic regens. A lot of them are fine. They're okay. They are serviceable. They work. You will get through a run. But, you know, there are kind of some that are strictly better. And there's some that are just kind of more situational, you know, also. Like, Born Gain is just strictly better than something like Fluid Gain, you know? Unless maybe, yeah, like, again, maybe I could come up with very specific scenarios, but generally. What am I hoping for from this update? Well, they've kind of already outlined a lot. We want Shameless Attitude from here if we can. I didn't really like Glamour Gain that much. There's Sweet Surrender. It's okay. Might be willing to roll again here, though. Damn. Okay, now we'll settle for Sweet Surrender. I guess the hidden aspects I'm very interested in. I'm very excited to try those out. I mean, obviously, I'm very curious about the confrontation, quote unquote. I wonder if that means that it's not going to be a whole new zone. It's just going to be like a boss fight or something like that. It's just interesting the words they used for it. You know what I mean? Could go Hermes. You have a good amount of rolls left. Okay. Spiral Knives is definitely going to carry this run all the way to the bank. Yeah, I mean, Fluid Gain is kind of going. It's kind of going. Mean Streak, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'd rather really aim for something like Nimble Mind. Like, Mean Streak just doesn't mean a lot to me. Uh-oh. Let's see. We're kind of done at the same time. Like, there are things you could aim for, but most of it is not necessary. Money is sort of an issue often in these zones, though, because there's just so much to spend money on. I don't know. We'll take it. It's fine. That's my motto nowadays. It's fine. Okay, let's stomp this guy down. Do we want to take Hestia? Do we want to take Hestia? These are quite similar, aren't they? Do we want to take Hestia? She can't do very much for us, so the answer is no, I think. She was offered all over the place in the zone, and I denied her every time. She has very little to offer, though, for this particular build. I like where the gods are right now. I feel like the gods are in a pretty good place. They all have their niches, and, you know, everyone's going to have their own preferences and say, I wish this god was more like this, or this god's bad, or something, but at the same time, you'll find just as many people saying the opposite a lot of times. They say they like that god, that's their favorite god, etc., etc. So I think the gods are in a pretty good place. We could probably pick out singular boons that we'd like to see changed. I was actually kind of surprised that we didn't get more, like, hot fixes and just general changes to some boons, some weapons, some aspects in between patches here, and they decided to kind of leave things be. It might be a good philosophy, to be honest. I think we just go droplet mostly for the
droplet.
channel speed. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Just buy it all. That's why you need lots of money.
Check.
I'm a little surprised. There are definitely some outliers, some things that are bad, some things that are too good, perhaps. My outlook for things that are bad in the game. You can't have everything be great. You can't have everything to be optimal. Ideally, the way you would design this is that everything has a situation where, hey, this is actually good right now. And it's just a matter of how often does that situation come up, you know? I don't want to prime any magic, really. You could roll for... Yeah, let's roll to try to get, well, that. I kind of forgot that fluid gain activated it. I was going to say, I think Geyser Spout would do it, but that works too. But yeah, I mean, hold down special button here. Spam this out. Boom. Bob's your uncle, as they say. Bob's your uncle. But you can't have everything be amazing. Not everything should be plausible for every single run, every single time it comes up, etc., etc. Then it's just boring. Then the options don't matter. You know what I mean? So it's a game where you kind of need some things to be bad. Straight up. Now, I do think there are levels of bad, though. Oftentimes, the way I look at it, if you double the power of something and it's still bad, then that's probably not good enough, right? That's my, like, arbitrary internal rule of thumb, I guess you could say. There are some things in the game where you could potentially increase the power by 5 times, and I would still consider it bad, you know? So I guess the way I'm looking at things is such that if you double the power of something... I'm looking at Hestia's Legendary right now, for instance. If you double the power of that, I still would not generally build toward it or aim to get that Legendary pretty much ever, because it's too finicky, too weird, and does too little. All those things all at once, right? So it might as well have double the damage, so to kind of get it somewhere else, you know what I mean? Oh, God. I guess I am still kind of the mind that when it comes to legendary boons, none of those should truly be bad. Same thing with duo boons for the most part. Again, ideally, everything just has a situation where it becomes, you know, what's the term here? Ideal to take, perhaps. You know, oh, we encountered this particular situation, so now's a good time to get this obscure duo boon that you wouldn't normally want, you know what I mean? I think that's what you'd want. What do we want here? Make our burb stronger. Probably the best we can do here. We get more passive crit. Hey, we got a fountain room too. Does that mean we didn't get a Carib? Probably not, honestly. Probably not. Shamblers. God, that's so satisfying. I like it how I talk trash about fluid gain from Poseidon. The magic gains are talked about a lot. For sure. Arctic Gale's fine. Tis fine. Hey, a palm. And how to balance them correctly. Because, like we kind of talked about, Born Gain is quite a bit above everything else on your average run. There are instances where maybe like Hestia's is good. You know? But it just really depends on the situation. Hestia only gives you magic regen when you attack with your regular attack or special. So, in other words, you would have to spend magic with your Omegas, but then purposely not use your Omegas after that point. Now, there are situations where you can kind of like use magic anyway and stuff, so it kind of works out. there are instances where Hestia's magic regen is good, is what I'm saying, essentially. And I think that's fine. I think that it has a good place right now. What do you got for me? Oh, even this one's pretty good, too. Doesn't work per, right? No way. I think we take the power.
Focus now.
Pretty sure.
Off he goes.
No way that works, right? You get a trigger each time? No way. Nah. Can't be.
Good evening, my dear.
Hey, Hera's here. All right, replace my magic. I probably don't actually need to. Rousing reception. She has... I have some common, so she could give me her infusion. Don't really care about Nexus Sprint. Never been a big fan. A proper upbringing. Yes, that'll be nice. And then maybe we could get her other boon down the line. That could help us. Eris here. I don't know who's complained about more, Eris or Prometheus. I feel like she's been a little bit easier to get used to for me personally, versus Prometheus, who's just generally a lot harder to read for me. Because attacks are just so... I don't know, it's like you can't really watch. You don't get time to kind of stop and slow down about stuff. Aww, she just kind of went really far away there on me.
No, come on, wait.
That last wave, you just gotta stop and like wait to see where she goes. You literally cannot get an attack in before she jumps away. Admittedly, I still fall for it too sometimes. I try to run in and try to finish her, but you can't do it. The game doesn't allow that. She has to come back down in a different spot, so you just gotta watch very carefully there. Prometheus, like, I've had some people ask me, like, what's the best way to tackle Prometheus? What do you do? How can I stop dying to this guy? And I'll be honest, I don't know if I got good tips for him still. Staying out of range does seem to help, but of course, if you're using certain weapons, then that just kind of doesn't matter. Even more so than other portions of the game, just having a broken build is going to be the most important part of it at the end of the day. So how you choose, what kind of boons you choose and how you load everything out is just going to matter even more so than normal. The harder the game gets, you know what I mean? That's always going to be the case the harder the game gets. Your choices become a lot more important. Man, these guys suck. Easily the most hated enemy, including for me. Ooh, sudden flurry is nice. We like. Actually, just gonna do the max health now. I'm pretty comfortable with our amount of magic at 285, right? Hey, that's one fig leaf. We'll do some mining out here. Okay, yeah, we'll take more Hera. What's it called? The boon gives us bonus damage if we don't have any commons. Uncommon Grace? There is Bloodline. Don't think with Fluid Gain do I feel super confident about it. I guess Bridal Glow's alright. It shouldn't go down. Slippery Slope Lair. Oh, no, wait, what did I just take? I was just trying to pick up the health. No! I don't even know what I took. I think I was picking up health. Or maybe I was taking the health door and I just thought there was health on the ground. Here, let me pick this pretty flower real quick. Actually running out of magic here. It's a lot. Once you increase your... Ooh, Athena, nice. Once you increase your channel speed a lot with the aspect of Pan, you'll suddenly start using magic from just trying to use your regular special often. See that? How are you, Athena? It's got to be Mental Block. Mental Block is easily the best boon. I consider it better than Divine Dash, personally. In this instance, it's just like so much damage. And we're using the cast very, very frequently, too. Afro never gave us Shameless Attitude, so I guess I will go that way. Might have skipped this chamber, it looks. Dio, let's go. There's Shameless Attitude. Deal more damage when you're above 80% health. It's double, so 30% more damage.
Excellent.
I got some health on me. We're gonna go ahead and just skip Selene. The hexes are another thing that gets talked about a lot. And I've kind of turned a corner to the hexes. We kind of talked about how things need to have just sort of a place for themselves, a situation where like, hey, this is actually cool and useful and good, right? And I think hexes, most of them actually do have that. They have their moments, essentially.
Onward.
You do have to think about them, you have to build toward them, and a few other things, but I feel like I'm not uncomfortable. Sure, we could talk about tweaking this one or that one to make it better, more, have it be more useful in more situations and things like that, but I'm not displeased with the hex system overall. I think the major tweak for me is like how I would describe the animation for it, because some of them just have these animation times that kind of just kill the flow of combat too much when you have to constantly watch them execute over and over again. It's bird time. We're going to line of sight it on the puddle here and just try to keep it that way. I'm going to wait for it to go away before anything else. It's very quick, though. If you need bird advice, I got plenty of words to say about the bird. Damn, it just got hit by everything at the end there. Shameless Attitude gives us 5% more. It's 10% more if we're above the amount of health.
Another branch.
Sure, we'll go this way. Hey, it's a fountain room. Let's go. I still love, I don't know, there's something so satisfying about being able to just skip a room. A heroic sweet surrender. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen that. At level 3 now, too. Oh my god, there's more chambers? I really thought we were done by now. I haven't really gotten totally used to like the number of chambers, but Olympus is quite a long zone. This whole region is quite a bit longer overall. Well, the Rift can be incredibly short. Can be. Like, we actually got quite a short one. We didn't get the mini-boss, Charybdis. And we got, what's her name? Cersei. Wow, I got birded again? I'm quite shocked by that. Probably gonna try to get over here now. Take it easy, right? Okay. Try to get back some of the magic. Mental block will really save you from a lot of damage. You get like a solid full second. It might not sound like much, but getting a full second of, you know, practically invincibility
My mother's strength.
is very, very helpful. Free Afro. We're kind of done with Afro. We even got Sweet Surrender. We got Shameless Attitude. We have a way to apply weak. So we're kind of good. Health is full. Definitely the special there, finally being offered.
Accept this message.
We have one roll left at the end here. These are pretty useless. You definitely don't want to swap, that's for sure. Plentiful Forage is 7 max health.
Worth the risk.
Let me see. Obviously, you don't want a rare crop. Snow Queen for 10 magic. I'm going to call that worth it. It is possible I will kind of run out here, but not likely. It's really when there's a lot of enemies spawning in around. Make sure you sidestep the bird there. Alright, it only took 2 Omegas to get this done. Let's see, we can do top, middle. Alright, wait a sec. You can actually, in case you don't know, you can actually drop your cast while charging your Omega Special. Very important for this aspect. Middle, top, middle, top, middle. So I can start charging, and as soon as he's down, kaboom. You gotta love that aspect, right? You gotta love aspect of Pan. Will it stay like this? We'll see. Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's spiral knives more than the aspect itself. That hammer is just absolutely insane. We did get the legendary too, so you can't really complain about that. But that is Aspect of Pan. That is our Hades 2 check-in. I mean, I still love the game, don't get me wrong. But I like to space things out, you know? I like to kind of try out some other games and make sure that when I do come back to it, I'll be refreshed and ready for it and ready to have some fun, you know what I mean? Thank you all so much for watching. If you got questions or anything of any nature, let me know. Let me know down in the comments, you know. Hades 2 will be back very shortly on the channel, as you can guess. I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, you know what's going on, and I'll see you in another video.